Mods are the lifeblood of any new Elder Scrolls game, or Bethesda title in general, and though the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is technically neither new nor developed by Bethesda Game Studios, the expectations for most people likely is for it to build up an extensive and active modding community over time. Of course, with the game having shadow dropped only recently, it's gonna take some time for it to get to that point. But even though it's early days yet, Oblivion Remastered does already have several smaller scale but solid PC mods available nonetheless. Here, we're going to talk about a few of the best mods you can get for the remastered open world action RPG on NexusMods. Tech improvements. Oblivion Remastered is already a pretty comprehensive upgrade over the original game as it is, but those looking to make further optimizations should turn their attention to the Ultimate Engine Tweaks mod by P40L0. Included among its several visuals and technical improvements are better frame rates, reduced stuttering, improved input latency, improved DLSS and FSR upscaling, better picture quality thanks to the removal of chromatic aberration and film grain, and more. The difference is quite noticeable. Reshade. Oblivion Remastered makes some significant changes to the 2006 original's visual aesthetic, to say the very least, but for those hoping for an experience that reverses some of that while still maintaining the leap in technical quality, the Allied Reshade mod is worth checking out. It swaps the relatively more subdued and grounded visual style of the remake with something that's much brighter and louder. It's obviously still a far cry from the original Oblivion's look, but it does come much closer to the remake's base form. Better FOV. Sticking with tech improvements for a little while longer, there is, as you would expect, also a mod available that lets you improve the game's field of view range. With the Better FOV mod by Kates, you can set your FOV to anything in a range of 60 to 140. In contrast, without the mod, Oblivion Remastered offers an FOV range of 70 to 100. Inventory. Inventory management is always something of a pain in Bethesda RPGs, given how quickly you can hit the cap on your carry capacity. Thankfully, there's a mod available that lets you address that, though in amusingly creative fashion, NexusMod user Arak's carry weight modifier mod changes the weight value of a single lockpick to -150, which means the more lockpicks you're carrying, the higher your inventory capacity will go. Stock up on lockpicks and carry whatever you want, and as much of it as you want to. Lockpicks and repairs. Speaking of lockpicks, if you want to remove the hassle of having to get your hands on as many as possible, or at least significantly lessen it, Ixion XVII's More Lockpicks and Repair Hammers mod is the mod for you. This mod increases the amount of lootable lockpicks and repair hammers you can find in the world by either 100% or 200%, depending on which version of the mod you choose. A third version goes even farther by adding lootable lockpicks and repair hammers to crates and barrels as well. Horseback Traversal. Sometimes the simplest mod can turn out to be the most useful, and this one definitely feels like one of those, especially if horseback riding is your preferred way of making your way around Cyrodiil. The Simple Faster Horses mod by Stefan does exactly what its name suggests. It increased the movement speed for the game's horses. Specifically, horse movement speed is bumped by 10, so you should feel a noticeable difference. More horse improvements. Speaking of horses, here's another mod that improves the implementation of mounts in Oblivion Remastered. Being able to summon your horse is the sort of basic feature that you'd ideally want to see in the game, even without mods. But at the very least, Push the Wind Button's Horse Whistle mod does let you do that. In fact, in addition to summoning your horse by whistling, the mod also lets you make your mount follow you as you move around on foot. Quest NPCs. Few things in video games are as annoying as quests where you have to walk with NPCs who are moving too slow, in turn making you have to slow down as well. Thankfully, the Elder Scrolls modding community doesn't disappoint because there is a fix for that. NexusMod user Dispensation's Quest NPC Run mod does what it says on the tin, and makes NPCs and companions in a specific quest run instead of walk when you have to accompany them. It may look jankier, but honestly, Oblivion's a supremely janky game anyway, so NPCs Level Caps. Oblivion's infamously inconsistent level scaling issues have been addressed to a great degree by the newly released remaster as is, but lingering issues still remain. Push the Win Button's balanced NPC level cap mod addresses a few of those, specifically by adding maximum level caps to every NPC in the game. With the mod installed, regardless of how high your own level climbs, NPCs will stop growing alongside you after a certain point. Item and creature spawning. Here's another mod also by NexusMods users Push the Win Button, which attempts to address Oblivion's level scaling issues. The vanilla version of the game stops spawning low-level enemies and items as your own level increases, though the Leveled Create an Item Diversity mod addresses that issue by bringing those low-level spawns back into the mix. NPCs On Fire. Honestly, we've put this one in here just to add a little bit of chaos to the proceedings, because chaos is never not fun, especially in an Elder Scrolls game. Spider Akira's NPCs Catch Fire mod leaves nothing to the imagination with its name. With the mod installed, NPCs can now catch on fire when standing close to flames. That's pretty much it. Rich vendors. Selling items in your inventory to vendors is easier said than done in Oblivion, because vendors can only pay you so much gold. If they run out of gold to pay with, no matter how many items you have or how valuable they might be on paper, you're not going to get anything from them. With Arak's Richer Vendors mod, however, every vendor in the game is going to have either 1,000 gold each, or be 10 times richer than they are in the vanilla game, whichever's highest. HUD improvements. Oblivion Remastered already features considerable improvements over the original game where its HUD and UI are concerned, but there's still more improvements that you can apply to the game with Kate's Better HUD mod. Specifically, this mod pushes the compass and health, mana, and stamina bars further out to the screen's edges, reduces the compass size by 60%, places the gauges vertically in the left corner, and makes status symbols less prominent. This mod also works with multiple aspect ratios. Difficulty changes. Oblivion Remastered features multiple set difficulty settings rather than letting players control things with sliders the way the original did. And though that mostly works out, some of the balancing in terms of damage multipliers across the difficulty setting is a bit inconsistent. Ixion XVII's difficulty slider fixed mod attempts to fix that by tweaking the multipliers across all settings to make the jumps feel less drastic. Best of all, the mod doesn't disable achievements, at least in its current form. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.